All right, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? I have my guy J Loew joining me. Mike Bruzewitz, he is out. He is on vacation, and so I thought of some of the best basketball minds I know, and J Loew is an amazing basketball mind. Was a really good hooper back in his day. Diehard Wisconsin sports fan. I think we'll have a great conversation. We agree on some things, disagree on others, and I think this will be a really good conversation. But J Loew, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming on.
Absolutely, Matt. Happy to help. This is fun. I look forward to this. I do enjoy watching your podcast and the catching up with Bruzewitz and the rest of them. So good stuff.
Let's go. Let's get rolling here. So Wisconsin just played Campbell. We're going to break down and recap the game, but Campbell had it within 5 with less than 9 minutes to go, and then Wisconsin started flowing. They found their rhythm late into the game and ended up winning by 32, 96-64. And it's obvious that they still have to figure things out yet. They're building chemistry. They're learning how to mesh, how to play with one another. You have freshmen. You have a lot of transfers in today's world. Continuity is very limited. John Blackwell looked absolutely exceptional, and I think that Boyd and Blackwell have the potential to be an elite duo. But the big question for me is, can Boyd shoot? He shot 35% last year at San Diego State. If he can shoot that well this year, they will be one of the best backcourts in the entire country. But I'm just a bit concerned that we might see a three-point percentage from him in the 20%, like high 20s. And if that's the case, teams can sag off of him, and that will nuke Wisconsin's ceiling quite a bit. But J Loew, my first question for you is just, what were your initial thoughts on the game? And what are your biggest takeaways? Did anyone stand out to you against Campbell?
You bet. Yeah, it was a little disjointed right early on. There were moments where they were trying to almost introduce themselves to one another. The big takeaways, I think that we can get buckets. I think that we have dudes who can get buckets. And frankly, in the first half, I thought Blackwell put up a number of very difficult shots. Step back, crossover, step back, 3-pointers. He put up 2 of those.
Yeah.
The fadeaway in the lane with contact. Those are tough shots. Second half, he got a lot better. Open looks. Boyd really did find him. Boyd, the thing about him, I don't know that he's a great shooter, but his ability to get in the lane and kick to dudes, I think that Blackwell just happy hands twice in the corner, just waiting for the ball to shoot. So shooters, bucket getters, 34-30 in rebounds. Badgers only out-rebounded Campbell by 4. A little concerning. I don't think our rugged center really exists. Garlic looks the part, huge. Kind of reminds me of Nolan Winter 2 years ago in that he's got one step slow everywhere, which is to be expected, but his body is so big and strong. Campbell scored an awful lot of buckets in the lane, it felt like to me. So I think that our defense is a bit of a concern. Ability to get buckets is a strength.
And it's early on.
No doubt.
And I think, there's a lot of room for improvement. I think defensively, they will hopefully look a little bit different January, February, March than they do right now.
Without
but
question.
There is a long way for them to go. I've been hyping up Wisconsin quite a bit. I am quite bullish on the team. And after tonight, I would say I'm relatively the same. I don't know if I'm any higher than I was. I don't know if I'm any lower. For me, the biggest concern is just shooting overall as a team. John Blackwell went 6 of 11 from 3, and the team went 39% from 3, but 6 of 11 of that came from John Blackwell. The team overall went 11 of 28, 5 of 17 from everybody else, which is 29%. And the team as a whole, when you look at the red-white scrimmage, you look at the game against the Pios, you look at the Oklahoma game, it's been bad shooting. So this is a good shooting night because John Blackwell carried them. That's my biggest concern with this team is I don't think this is looking like a good shooting team. What's your biggest area of concern for them, J Loew?
I do think that 2 things. One is a defensive stopper. I think that Blackwell has the capability. He got cooked a couple times early today. Again, it's all early.
He did.
But the guy who I think I love watching him play defense is Rhodey. Rhodey is savvy, moves his feet very well for a pretty lanky guy. But I don't know that we have a stopper. I don't know that a rugged post player who can really withstand banging is. Winter's gotten stronger and stronger, but I'm concerned about that. Point guard depth. What happens if
Okay.
Boyd can't run? Foul trouble. Who runs point? What do you think?
Yeah, and I think that
Weaknesses?
I think that yeah, I think that Blackwell to me looks like a kind of a different creature. I was confused, or not confused. I was kind of trying to figure out what Blackwell, like, what his ceiling was. Like, how much better could he get from last season? Because last season he looked like a grown man to me. He looked very physically developed, and I was like, has he already kind of come close to his ceiling? But I don't want to get caught up too much in one game. But I think that John Blackwell is looking like a different beast this year. He looks like he's taken a big step in his game, especially now that Tanjay's not there. He's going to be the guy. It's pretty clear to me. It's just one game, but it's clear to me that he's probably going to be the leading scorer. I was hoping it would be Nolan Winter, but the two leading scorers are most likely going to be Blackwell, followed by Nick Boyd. But yeah, he looks like he might have, and I didn't think this last year at all. And I still don't know if I think he has NBA potential, but his stock went up for me tonight, and we'll see where it goes. But yeah, I think John Blackwell, Nick Boyd are the top two guys, and I think that's going to be the biggest area of strength. And like you said, I am a bit concerned about the defense. I'm concerned about the shooting, and yeah, the physicality down low. Garlock, you said that Winter is similar to Garlock, or Garlock similar to Winter from 2 years ago. I would say that Garlock is a lot stronger than Winter was as a freshman. Like, Garlock looks like he can give you a solid 5 to 10 minutes a game. He can, give Winter a breather. I think he'll be ready to go as the backup big guy. And we'll see about the guy from Lithuania. But yeah, my next question is for J Loew, is over under on a 6 seed. I still am going to go under. I think they'll be better than a 6 seed. And I have going kind of the 3 or 4 range. It's early. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? If you had to predict right now, are you going over or under for a 6 seed?
I also am under. I'm confident that I think a 5 seed seems reasonable. I kind of etched out, if we finish top 5, top 6 in the Big Ten, that's a 4 or 5 seed, right? At its worst, if we finish a strong Big Ten, Purdue, Michigan, UCLA, 5th or 6th place in the Big Ten translates to a 4 or 5 seed in the tournament.
100%. And then what's you talked about some of your concerns. I laid out some of my concerns. What about the biggest areas of strength you see in this team?
I do think depth. I think that we could run Janicki, Garlock. We can withstand a pretty physical game and go deep. So I think that's a really good thing. I do think maybe not shooters, but bucket getters. I do think that we can get buckets. I mean, obviously it wasn't terrific competition to put up 96, but I do think that we'll be scoring mid-80s a bunch this year.
Yeah, and I saw Rhodey have a drive today that I didn't think that he was capable of when they curled him to the corner on the one baseline inbounds, and then he drove, and it was kind of an athletic, like, good-looking finish. I didn't think he had that in his bag. I'll be quite honest. I didn't think he had that. That's encouraging. If he can be 6'6" and a glue guy who can put on the floor if they close out hard and shoot well, I'll be super happy with him being the 5th starter. And then I want to say Jack Janicki coming off the bench. I think when you sub him in for Rode, he brings a totally different thing. Janicki's more athletic in my opinion, but just the energy, the quickness. He's 6'5", and he's lengthier than people realize, and he is quick. He had 4 steals. There was a little stretch in the first half where he was everywhere. So I like Janicki off the bench. His big thing is, and this is crazy to me, he had a pull-up 3 in transition as a guy who shot 27% from 3 last year, which is insane to me.
A walk-up.
I love the confidence.
I do
but
too.
Yeah, that walk-up, that was a little bit much. That was a little bit much. But Guard didn't pull him after that, so I respect Guard for letting him stick around. But yeah, I like how if you can take Rhodey out and you can put Janicki in. I'm still feeling pretty good about this team. J Loew, if you had to make a pick on which guy on this squad has the highest ceiling as a potential NBA player, who do you think it is?
I think it's got to be Blackwell. Okay. Yeah, is the argument that maybe Winter? I don't know, or Boyd. To me, it's Blackwell.
Yeah, I mean Boyd is 24.
Yeah, that seems awfully old, and he's so lean. I don't see him as NBA. Is it Winter? Who else would it be?
Yeah, it's probably Blackwell or Winter, and it's like what we
Yeah,
saw. You know, Winter had a nice night tonight. Winter had a nice night,
yeah,
and there's two plays I really liked for him. I like that fast break when Blackwell dished it to him. He had nice hands where he got the ball kind of low, and then he finished it. Like him running the
yeah,
court at nearly 7 feet, being able to do that, and then he had another play late in the game where I think he had the ball at the top of the key, spun around, one dribble,
yeah,
and kicked it out to Rapp. And I was like, that looks really good for a 7-footer.
yeah.
Like you can see the pieces. He's gotta
Oh,
put it all together, and it might take another year for him to reach the potential I think that he could
yeah,
end up reaching. Like I
yeah,
think he potentially has a high ceiling. He just might not be there yet. But I think it's either Blackwell or Winter. And I do think Boyd is gonna have a career year. Like Tanjay was a 6-year senior last year. He got
yeah,
drafted by the Jazz. So I wouldn't be stunned.
yep,
But the problem with Boyd and with almost like every left-handed basketball player I ever watch is they're just obsessed with using their left hand.
yeah,
Boyd loves his left hand. I have not
yeah,
seen him try to use his right hand once, and even if he goes right, he's always going to finish
yeah.
left.
He's coming
It blows
back
my
on you.
mind. Yeah, so he's super speedy, can turn the corner. But yeah, so I would say it's one of those two. But yeah, so
I do
then
think
I think the last
Winter.
question. Oh, go
Real
ahead.
quickly, Winter's skill set is jaw dropping. That finish running through the traffic and kind of ballerina move to finish softly,
Mhm.
very impressive. And the form is really good on the jump shot. I just think that still today he's getting banged around pretty. You'd think in 3 years he'd have more bulk and strength, but it'll
Physicality.
come.
So it might just take another year from Winter, and
Yeah,
then yeah, I think yeah, I would say the last question I'll ask you before we wrap this up is if you had to go, what is Wisconsin's ultimate ceiling this year? How far do you think they can go in the tournament? Best case scenario, best matchups, they stay healthy, chemistry is good. What do you think their ceiling is?
it saddens me to think that Sweet 16 is a great accomplishment. To get past that
They
would
haven't seen
be
it in a long
this.
time.
Yeah, yeah. To think that they could get past the Sweet 16 Elite Eight would be special, I think. I like the fact that we've got some dogs, right? And Blackwell, Rhodey's played a lot of hoops. Boyd has played a lot of big NCAA games. I- I'd say that the ceiling would be an Elite Eight run. That'd be spectacular, fun run. What about you? How far do you think they can get?
Okay. I mean, absolute best case scenario, I would say Final Four. If we're talking
Okay.
best case scenario, is that the most reasonable or most probable? No, but I
Yeah.
think it's within the realm of possibilities. Like I said, best case they stay healthy, the chemistry's
Yeah.
good. They catch some luck, they have decent matchups. Like I definitely think they can get to the Final Four, especially if they exceed my expectations shooting wise. That's the big thing. Is I'm just not sure this is going
Yeah.
to be that good of a shooting team. But yeah, no, I think this is a good stopping point. This is a solid
Good.
recap. Ladies and gentlemen, this is J Loew. J Loew, thank you so much for coming on the show. We'll have to bring you back on in the future. And yeah, I think we'll have some good conversations in the future. But thank you very much for coming on, J Loew.
Appreciate it, Matt. Thank you very much.